Hello, it's Christy, aka The Preacher, and this video is the review of SmackDown Live. So, first I'm gonna review the John Cena and Nakamura match. I did like the result. Nakamura definitely deserved the win. However, the match itself was not that great. There was definitely some issues. I am not gonna blame John Cena on it. I'm not. I'm gonna blame the cameraman. Actually, the cameraman improper way of angles. You could tell John Cena was communicating with the referee during some parts of the match, and that makes it obvious that it's staged. So you gotta work on that, cameraman, with your angles a little bit, because it just doesn't look clean when you can see him talking to the referee. I mean, like, if the referee is asking him if he's okay, that's one thing. When you can see that when John Cena is talking to the referee during certain parts of the match, something's up there. Now, I do think John Cena probably got hurt during some part of the match. I just think that. That move, shoot. The, man. God, I do it all the time. They took him by his waist and threw him backwards, and he fell on his neck. That looked pretty bad. He was probably not meant to land like he did. So that was definitely a miscue. Nakamura's kick at the end to actually pin John Cena wasn't very clean either. Like, it looked like a messed up kick. It didn't look very smooth with the kick and the landing on John Cena. So I was actually pretty unhappy with some of that match because it's supposed to be a main event match. Okay? They talked about it, and it was the last match of the evening, which is the main event match. And yet there was mistakes through the match. Not good, guys. Not good. You need to step it up. Might have been language barrier issues. I do know that Nakamura, his accent is really thick. It's really hard to understand him. Even when he talks as he does in the ring, sometimes it's hard to understand what he's saying. So there might have just been hard to understand, miscommunications. But definitely could have been a lot cleaner and nicer, and but definitely for a match that was supposed to be dubbed, a dream match, it should have been a lot better, to be honest. Let's see. Rusev, I don't know what he was on, talking about how he beat everybody and he's so great. he almost lost that match. Did he not even realize that he almost lost that match? I think Gable is gonna be great as an independent wrestler. You know, you sometimes get worried when tag teams get split up because you don't know how the one's gonna do as a independent. But he actually held his own really well with Rusev and almost won that match. If it wasn't until the very end when there was you make one slight error and then poof, it goes downhill from there. And that's pretty much what happened. And, just one way or the other, and he could have easily beat Rusev. So, he was pretty good during that match. So, Rusev saying what he said was actually pretty dumb, because he almost lost that match. And if you think about it, it would have been an upset. It would be considered an upset, because this has been his, one of his very first independence matches, Gable, from being separated as a tag team. Not that he hasn't fought independently before, but he was still part of, American Alphas. He still had somebody who was out there supporting him. He didn't have that support. So, I just think, I don't know what Rusev was on saying what he said. Because he almost lost that match. Let's see. Then Randy Orton came out. I'm not sure what direction they're going with. I guess they just need matches for SummerSlam. So they're just like, well, we definitely want Randy Orton in SummerSlam. And Rusev just said, we'll just have him fight Rusev, because Rusev said what he said. Which technically he shouldn't have said, because he really literally almost lost his match he just fought in. So they're trying to build something there. But I don't like when they do that. They just kind of squish things together to get matches in for the pay-per-view. I like the story. I like the storyline. I like real, reason for why they're battling each other. Not for sake of having a match at SummerSlam. Because, what about the people that do have real grievances with another wrestler and they don't get to be on the card because, Randy Orton needs to be on the card because he's Randy Orton or something, I don't like that. It's like, let's have Randy Orton on the card because he's Randy Orton, but we haven't created a beef. We haven't created any thing because he was just finished with fighting for the WWE Championship. You know what a better beef would be? Great Khali. Why didn't they think of that? Having the Great Khali fight him in SummerSlam. That would have been a better beef. At least that would have been a legitimate beef. Him and fighting Rusev, there's really no beef there just to have a match of SummerSlam. I just don't like that. I need like real beef in there to make it. It makes people want to wrestle harder if they're fighting for a cause or a reason, not just to have their name on the card. Fighting for something else more. Personal. Anyway. Or the championship. Neither one of them has a belt, so, there's nothing there for that. Let's see. Be really interested to see if Carmella cashes in at SummerSlam. I did see that match a little bit. Kind of do other things sometimes when I'm watching wrestling. But I was definitely in tune to the last match. That's how I caught all those mistakes. They don't. They really. If I was watching those matches like I watched the last match, I'm sure I would catch mistakes in the other matches too. But I don't watch. I wasn't watching all the matches like I was watching the last one. Very detailed like that. I was trying to do other things. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I was just thinking of, I wanted to comment on. The Usos just coming out there and bragging kind of just took up airtime. That was kind of a waste of airtime, to be honest. I was least expecting, New Day to come out and get their revenge, but they weren't even there. So, to me, that was a waste. And then, whatever they were doing with the whole FEBREEZE Fandango thing, for I don't know. I said FEBREEZE. you know who I mean. That segment was kind of weird too. They could have probably fit another match in SmackDown if they did away with the Uso thing and the Fandango segment. They could have probably squeezed in another match. And then the wrestlers who rarely get showcased could have actually gotten showcased for a change. That would have been nice, right? And then let's see. I don't really want to comment on the whole Aiden English beating winning his match because, well, I know. I guess everybody deserves a win every now and then. And I don't think necessarily he's a bad guy. I kind of like the, well, I'm in the artsy thing, and the whole opera. Even though he's not a very good opera singer. At least he's better at what he does than what Elias is trying to do. He sounds a little bit better. If you want to compare, I'll do it that way. And I liked his pants, the artsy pants he wears. Those are cool. I think one time he was wearing a painting on his pants. I was trying to remember it, what painting it was. The Scream. Van Gogh's Scream. It was pretty cool. I think he wore once. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. What happened to his tag team partner? I guess he's gone. So they just had to make him go solo, and they just don't know what to do with him. So they just made him into this character. Let's see. I'm trying to remember all the matches. Well, they doubled down on the whole what happened at Battleground thing with AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. Because AJ Styles' shoulder was up at Battleground when Kevin Owens won the belt. And then they did that on SmackDown. But they didn't make a big deal about it at the Battleground or at the end of Battleground. It wasn't even like known as a big deal, but you could clearly see, like when you got reviewed later, when we saw the review, and when even SmackDown showed the review of Battleground, that his shoulder, AJ Styles' shoulder, was up when the 3 count was counted, and there was no way he should have lost the belt. So either that was a mistake, the WWE did not rectify or whatever, I don't know, or as part of the storyline that they're going with now. And then if it was a mistake, now they're just doubling down on the mistake and made it into a storyline, because they do that too. They're like, oh, we made a mistake, well, let's make it into a storyline. Better than admitting, hey, we made a mistake, Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the matches. See, I don't really recall there being a lot of matches. It's a lot of segments, little stuff. And then a whole blow up with Kevin Owens in the back. They literally could have fit another match in there if they wanted to. And then they interview people. They do like interviews. On, I'm just trying to recall the interviews, but sometimes I think they interview like the wrong people, or they shouldn't be interviewing the people at that time, or because like I just didn't find it really necessary to focus on I don't know. I just think I would have focused on asked Jinder Mahal the question about who would have won. Like, okay, so now Nakamura's the winner. I don't know. Some of their interview, the way they interview or when they interview, I have questions about. And I think even like that interview segment was a little messed up. Like, I don't think Jinder Mahal knew all his lines correctly. He sounded a little unsure of himself when he was trying to say Japanese. He's like, I don't care if he's from Japan or America or American or something. Like, the way he was trying to say that sentence or phrase came out a little bit bloopy. Use that word. Bloopy. So it's like, I would probably give him the script so he could work on it a little bit more ahead of time, because he needs to work on that. I mean, that's all he really did that day anyway. He didn't wrestle. He just had to make a comment and then watch the match in the skybox and get the camera flipped up every once in a while. I mean, at the end or whatever. To him and his 2 Goombas. I used the Italian term, but the Italian term. But that's all he did. And he like messed up the line. Loser. Anyway. He needs to work on that. Give him the lines ahead of time. Let him work on it. Should have like given him the lines when he first got there, so he could have memorized them. He was really confident when the time came to deliver the lines. He probably was just giving it to her right before the segment, and was like, "Okay, so this is what you need to say." And then he only had that slight few moments to memorize the lines before he was put on camera. No, you need to give the lines more ahead of time so you can learn them. It makes more sense to me. I mean, it does. Not everybody picks up things as quickly as others. So, and I think that's all I'm gonna really comment on SmackDown. So this is Christy, aka the Preacher, signing off.